All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to week number 14. That is right, number 14 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and today what we are going to be doing is this one is going to be on the shorter side, because rather than actually demo something for you all, I am actually going to direct you to something else. So, having said that, let's do a state of the course update real quick, and then we will talk about directing you to something that may be more helpful to you than what Dr. Chase really has to offer. So let's get that out of the way. First of all, state of the course updates. For one thing, I will be, as I mentioned previously, I will be adjusting the grading scale that currently is on the syllabus because we did not get to hear from Dustin. Dustin, who is going to be our second speaker in November. He had something come up and say he was not able to actually do the sync session with us. So because we're not going to have that talk from Dustin, our where is our grading scale here? Okay. Yes, our grading scale is going to have to get adjusted because now the total number of points that you all are going to be able to get is going to be, I believe, 97. Let me make sure of that. Hold on. Yeah, you can now get up to 97 points. So this will be adjusted very slightly. And once we adjust this, then I will make an announcement and let you all know what you're going to have to get in order to get an A, a B, or a C. Currently, it's 95, 84, 71, but that is going to change. It's going to be a little lower on all of those grades, okay? So that is the main thing. You all should have your LibGuides turned in now, completed and turned in. Unless you spoke to me or I spoke to you, which only applies, I think, to 3 of you. So for the rest of you, your LibGuides should be turned in by now, and you should be going ahead and getting those, you should be going ahead and getting those semester-long projects done. That's what you need to work on from now until the end of the class, and that does include, well, let me pull up here. So the semester-long project is due December the 12th. Okay, so that's going to be a week from this coming Sunday is when that's going to be due. Actually, it's a week from this coming Monday. So this coming Monday is going to be Monday, December the 5th, 2022. And the semester-long project is going to be due on the 12th, a week from that Monday. So you've essentially got a little less than 2 weeks to get that completed. But I have been reminding you all throughout the semester we'll work on that. So I'm hoping that nobody is actually just starting that now. Otherwise, if you are just starting that now, you've got a hell of a 2 weeks ahead of you. But go ahead and get it done, and it's going to be good practice for you. And save it, and I'm sure you're going to be glad that you did it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look just really quickly then at government information. Now, government information is, this is my true Achilles heel. I do the general information good. I do business information pretty well. I'm not very good at health. So some of these things, let me just back this up really quick. Some of these things are actually specialized skill sets. So when we talk about business librarianship, that is actually a specialized skill set. And so you will find people that actually go in and become business librarians, and that's what they do throughout their career because it is such a specialized skill set. And actually, I am going to be teaching the business reference course the second 8 weeks of the spring 2023 semester. So if you're looking for an additional skill set, I highly recommend that you take that class. I did not go over business resources in this class because if you do want an overview of business resources, then you need to take that other class, okay? But yes, so business is a specialized skill set. Government dots is a specialized skill set. And health is a specialized skill set within librarianship, and then also science STEM. So when I say they're specialized skill sets, what I mean is that a lot of times the people who are subject liaisons in those particular areas, they have really, really high skill sets and are the go-to people for those types of reference, be it business reference, health reference, government document reference, or STEM reference. So I say that to say that if you are going to well, first of all, you probably want to go ahead and maybe if you want to work in public services, get one of those specialized skill sets. You can take the business reference course or you can take the health librarianship course. Either way, what I'm going to say to that is that excuse me. Either way, I'm going to say that getting one of those specialized skill sets is going to leapfrog you over a lot of your competition. There are a lot of people graduating from library school right now. And even though there are a lot of library openings, again, because there are a lot of people trying to do librarianship, I would just warn you all to, to make sure that you're still separating yourselves from the pack, okay? So having said that, getting that business skill set or that health skill set is something that's going to help separate you. Now, another thing that can help separate you might be if you learn government documents. However, I'm just going to come out and say that I have only done government documents maybe within an entire over 15-year career in librarianship. Not over 15 years. I'm at 14 years. I'm sorry. So at 14 years, a 14-year career in librarianship, I have only really maybe used SUDOT numbers. SUDOTs are how you look up government documents. I probably only used SUDOTs 5 times in a 14-year career. And then whenever I've looked up government documents, otherwise, a lot of times I'm able to get that one line through Google searches, or they're coming from government statistical things that I've showed you all before, like for instance, the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So those sorts of things, if you've got that sort of action going on, then you don't really need to, you don't really need to know SUDOTs that well. But having said that, and nobody really knows SUDOTs that well these days. I shouldn't say nobody, but definitely not a lot of people out there know SUDOTs. But here's what you're going to want to do if you're wanting to get a grounding, at least, in government documents. For one thing, of course, refer to your book and whatever information your textbook has about those. But then also, there is an entire YouTube channel. Help! I'm an accidental government documents. Help! I'm an accidental government information librarian. You can just Google for this channel. Google help! I'm an accidental government information librarian, and it will take you to this YouTube channel. And I don't know how many videos are on this YouTube channel, but they're quite a bit. And it's got over 600 subscribers, and there are multiple webinars on this YouTube channel that will teach you different things about how to go about finding government information, how to do reference that involves looking up and finding government information and so forth and so on. So, and these go back, I believe, up to 8 years. So they've been doing this for a while now. 7 years, I'm sorry. So they've been doing this for a while now. But any of these, you can get around, you can kind of go in here and kind of play around with this. And if you see some things that you like, go ahead and, just go ahead and watch the webinar. The webinars are free. They were to be paid for at one point, and now the archive webinars are free. You can look at them all through YouTube, and they can be very informative in teaching you how to look up government information. So that's one thing to show you. And then the other thing that I want to show you all that might, and you all just turned in LibGuides, so you should know what LibGuides are, how they work, etc., etc. Another thing that I would want to advise you all about is that if you just Google for government librarian LibGuides, quite a few of these will show up. And these government information LibGuides, they may not seem useful on the surface, but for instance, I go into this LibGuide, and for one thing, you can, a lot of times librarians will respond to you if you email them asking for help and asking for guidance. They'll respond to you and give you a little leg up. But one thing that you'll find if you start looking at these LibGuides for government information is you can search around. And if you look at these different tabs, they're going to show you the different resources that you're going to want to use in order, for instance, if you're looking for state regulations, you can go to the state regulations tab, and this will show you some of the resources that you would use to find that information. Same with past state legislation and so forth and so on. So you can get a really good idea of what resources you should use to look for certain information by looking at these LibGuides, but it's going to be up to you to get practice on these things. So I would say don't bust your ass trying to get a bunch of practice on these things right now, because you might start getting practice on things that you're never actually going to use. Okay, so that's the one drawback or the one warning. But if you want to email some government documents librarians or some government information librarians and ask them, okay, so what are the things that I should learn right away, or the things that I most need to know how to use in order to find and get good government information. A lot of times, again, these people tend to be very friendly and they will help you out with that. So I do recommend giving that a chance if you're interested in, learning more about government documents, government information, and if you are wanting to set yourself up to potentially be a government information librarian. So that's that. And one thing that I want to also keep in mind, one thing that I want to leave you all with is that keep in mind what the name of this YouTube channel is, Accidental. So a lot of times when people become health librarians or business librarians or government documents librarians, they didn't specifically go to school for that, and they aren't necessarily all that well versed in these things. Okay, so I say that to let me back up. They aren't that well versed in these things coming out of library school, and I say that to say that some of you are going to become business librarians or health librarians or government documents librarians, even though you didn't intend to. That's going to happen to probably at least one of you is going to become one of those types of librarians, even though you didn't plan for it. And that's because people kind of default into those roles. They kind of just get into these roles. They don't plan to get into these roles. They just land into them, and then they learn the skill set, they excel, they start doing well, they get the competence up, and then they want to do it for the rest of their career. And if that is how your career goes, then that is great. But a lot of business librarians, health librarians, and government information librarians became those things on accident. And so that's something that you're going to want to keep in mind as well. So with that said, that's going to be it for me. I am Dr. Jace, and we've only got one more week after this week. So you are soon to finish this race. And I enjoyed having you all, and I do hope that some of you will join me for Cultural Heritage or for the business reference course in the spring. So with that said, I am out, and take care. See you next week.